You're supposed to have $36,000 cash sitting in a bank account?
Right. That's that. I'm like, I agree with you. That's why when that was said, who are you talking to? What average person are you speaking with?
What's going on, everybody? My name is Hassiem Mohammed.
And I'm Andrea Laing.
And you are listening to a new segment on the Actors Instrument Tools for the Long Game that we like to call
Finance for Freelance.
Finance for Freelance is a continuation of a pre-existing segment that I had on the YouTube channel, but now we're bringing it to all the streaming platforms as well, so you can tune in no matter how you listen to the show. And I couldn't be more excited to co-host this segment with Andrea Laing.
Okay, let's go ahead and get right into it, right?
Let's do it.
So most people do not have a great, good, awesome, amazing relationship with money, right?
Right. And I can only imagine that's true for freelancers like us.
100%. But we've been through the ringer and we know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. That's just a reality.
We do. And we also know what it's like to support ourselves as artists.
Mm-hmm. And most importantly, we've built the financial habits necessary to make sure that we can stick around in this business because it's so vital.
Exactly. And so on this segment, what you can expect is for us to discuss, all the practical stuff like budgeting, investing, how to avoid debt.
All the boring stuff. But listen, we are artists. So at the end of the day, we're going to make it fun.
In today's episode, we're going to cover a recent headline from SAG-AFTRA reacting to their financial advice. We're going to play a game of Would You Rather. We'll share some of our budgeting tips and confess some of our past financial blunders. Alrighty, friends, sit back, relax, make sure you are subscribed, like this episode. You are listening to Finance for Freelance. All right, Andrea, let's get things started with a headline. SAG-AFTRA dropped an episode on their podcast, and in this episode, our chief negotiator, Duncan Crabtree Ireland, sits down with a CPA. His name is Kevin Doyle. He's a certified public accountant and founder of KRD CPA. Disclaimers, great point. Great time for a disclaimer. Andrea and I are not CPAs. We are not certified public accountants or financial advisors. Like we said, we're freelancers. We've lived paycheck to paycheck. We've made money from our art. We're here to share our experience, what's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us. If there's anything that sounds like good and you want to try it out, by all means, but we are not telling you to take our advice.
Not at all. Not telling you what to do. Just two humans who may have played CPAs on television, but not actually certified. Okay.
Exactly. So I got this email from SAG-AFTRA last week, and I immediately sent the link to Andrea because I was like, ooh, SAG-AFTRA giving money advice. I mean, good, because as we said, we need it. Now, there was one part of this episode that I specifically want us to unpack. There was a bit of advice where they said actors should have anywhere from 6 to 12 months of an emergency fund. Andrea, what do you think about that? 6 to 12 month emergency fund. That's half a year to a full year of, I guess, just expenses sitting in a bank account.
That is nice to hear. I don't know how practical that is for everyone.
Yeah.
I think it's very smart. Do I personally have that right now? I personally have that. I'm also someone that I love to budget. I like to budget, and I also like to splurge. I like to have fun. I don't want to just sit around and wait for, for things to happen. But I think it's smart, but I'm not sure how practical that is for everyone to implement, because like I said, if you're living below your means, I don't know how much you can save up for 6 months to half a year. And then if you have a family, and then we're also given the circumstances of the pandemic and the 2 strikes. So this would have been great in 5 years ago. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
So my immediate reaction is it's too much. So most financial advisors outside of our industry would recommend anywhere from 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside.
Right.
Which makes sense. Sometimes okay, if you lose your job or whatever, it'd be nice to know that for 90 days to 180 days, like you're good.
Yeah.
But I just think like 12 months, a year, like, okay, so let's say that like and I'm lowballing here. Let's say we're just talking about absolute necessities: rent, food, utilities, transportation, no spending money.
Right.
Like you are going to strip it down to nothing. We'll call it $3,000 a month. Okay. You're supposed to have $36,000 cash sitting in a bank account.
Right. That's I'm like, I agree with you. That's why when that was said, who are you talking to? What average person are you speaking with? It should kind of make me think of, when they said like the housing market, like a great time to buy, and then you've seen like the memes and is it gifts or GIFs?
Oh my God. Oh, this is a whole other debate. I think GIF.
I can't do it.
Personally.
I'm going to start crying. I'm going to start crying because it's too much for me.
Because it's not, like Jiffy peanut butter, that's a J.
That's a J.
So I say GIF.
I'm going to start crying because I'm overwhelmed.
Guys, let us know. Is it GIF or GIF? Please DM us or
write in and let us know.
Please let us know.
We'll cover it in a separate segment. But I remember seeing recently where they say like the housing market was great. You should have purchased before you were born. This is kind of how it makes me feel. Do you know what I mean? Like the market was great. Like, why didn't you buy when you were 5? Like, are you stupid?
What were you doing?
Yeah. Right. So when this comes out and it's like, yeah, you should have 6 to 12 months, 6 to a year saved up. It's like, who are you? What economy? What world? Who are you speaking to? Yes, it sounds lovely, but I think that, the 3 months to 6 months is more practical.
I went through the process a few years ago. I saved up 3 months and then I was feeling pretty good. I was like, oh, let's keep it going. And I did. I saved up 6 months of expenses in my savings account. I've been very blessed to not have to touch that money.
Yeah.
What ends up happening, like just from a practical point of view, is that money loses value.
100%.
Inflation.
Mm-hmm.
So the money I had in that account, I think I finished it up like, we'll say 2 years ago. I got to the 6-month mark, right? Today, it's worth less. So what I did, I'm truly not even recommending people do this because I'm in a particular circumstance, but I'm being honest about what I did. I took half of it and invested it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Okay.
Because it was sitting there doing nothing. Yeah. Again, I'm in a position where I don't need it right now.
Sure.
And the only way to outpace inflation is to invest.
Right.
So I took half of it. I was like, I got 3 months there. If push comes to shove, I put half of it into investments. And it's grown tremendously.
There you go.
In those couple of years.
That's awesome. My question for you, Hassiem, is a couple of things. When you said that, first of all, a savings account, is the money just sitting?
Right.
The money just can't sit. It has to be invested somewhere else so you can make more off of it, right?
Yeah. Or even like a high yield savings account. There's some limitations on like how much you can take at a time.
Sure.
Like I have one and it's, I may be misspeaking, but I think it's like you can't take out more than like $10,000 at a time. So like, I guess if you needed more than that, like in a single day, it would be tough, but the money will grow faster than it would in a traditional bank savings account.
100%. Well, it's going to just grow as opposed to not, right? It's just sitting there. My other question for you is, and I hope I'm not veering off too much, but let me know, reel me back in. I need to be reeled back in a lot of times. How did you have the knowledge to do this? Because if people have, let's just say that they have enough in their savings account and it's just sitting there and they want to do the things that you're speaking of. How did you even know? Do you have a person that you speak to? Are you paying for this person? Is this person expensive? How much of that process was it difficult for you? Anything that you can answer?
Yeah. So I think a couple things. One, I do not have any debt, which is something I'm sure we'll talk about in another episode.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how much that really influenced it, but it's like, it helps to know that I don't have like these recurring large bills that I'm like chasing.
100%. Yeah. You have a little bit of room to like explore the options, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then I was on this hike. It was the hardest hike in the state of New York. It's called Devil's Path.
Oh, right. You like to do the death defying star. We'll talk about that later too.
So I was hiking Devil's Path last year, and literally almost a year ago, it was early October, and it's a long hike. It took me 2 days. It's 8,000 feet of elevation. And I was like, this is a long time. I'm going solo.
Sounds like the beginning to a horror film. Keep going. 8,000 by yourself? Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is great. No water. Sure.
8,000 feet of elevation, 24 miles. And I'm just going to be out in the woods by myself this whole time. So I downloaded a few podcast episodes, and one of them was from this podcast I hadn't ever listened to. I don't remember the name, to be honest. So sorry, guys, I can't recommend it. But it was just like millionaires talking about their financial decisions and stuff.
Oh, Brad.
Basically. And so basically what they both said that really stuck out to me was they don't have much cash. Like one guy was like, yeah, I've got like $3,000. And he like wasn't exaggerating. He's like, my checking account right now, he's like, it's like $3,000. And I was like, that's interesting. He goes, he's like, all of the rest is invested.
Bye.
He was like, my savings are invested. He said, because ultimately he's like $3,000 could handle any immediate thing. Like if my car, like if I blow a tire, if I need a new alternator, I can go slap a couple $1,000s and be back on the road. No problem.
I love these millionaires are acting like they're driving Hondas, but that's really cute. No, continue.
Because the Maserati oil change I heard was $1,000 itself, just the oil change.
Okay, what games are we playing?
I said I must stick with the Hondas and Toyotas.
Easily. I'm good. God. Kia, thank you.
Okay.
Anyways, as you were saying.
Whew. So, whether that's their reality or not, what stuck out to me was two things. One, I think it's in general, like just great to look at people who are doing better than you in life and seeing what are they doing? Yep. Can I do it? So I was like, okay, I'd like to be a millionaire personally. And these millionaires are sitting here saying they don't keep cash reserves, large cash reserves.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm not a millionaire yet, but what's the lesson here? The lesson is maybe part of how they got to be millionaires was taking their cash and putting it into investments so that it can grow exponentially, compound interest, which again, we can dive into on another time. So I was looking at my money, and again, I was like, I'm in a pretty good place. I have steady income coming in, so I'm not like scrambling for anything. This is the other thing. I have disability insurance.
Okay.
So if something happened, God forbid, if something really bad happened to me and I couldn't perform anymore, I'd get a check.
Okay.
So that's insurance that I pay for monthly. So it's like a combination of I had the 6 months emergency plus this insurance.
Sure.
So I was like, worst case scenario, I should be fine with that 3 months emergency savings.
Sure.
And then let's say I needed more, because I'm sure some people are thinking like, well, what if you did need the money that was invested? You sell your investments and you get the money back.
How fast is something like that? How doable and how fast can that happen? Let's say something went down.
You can sell. I mean, the market's open Monday through Friday. So I guess if it happens on a Saturday,
it's like an instant thing. Okay.
Yeah, like you just sell, and you can set it. You can say like, I want to sell it right now. I don't care how much I make. You can even choose like, I only want to sell if the value is above this much, because as we know, the market fluctuates. So maybe it's down. You could say no, don't sell if it's this low.
Yeah.
So ultimately, for me, I felt like it was worth the risk because I still had the security of the 3 months. And guys, like, all right, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Andrea. The other thing is, don't be lazy. You know what I'm saying? If you lose your job, why is it taking you 6 months to go get I don't know, Burger King, something to supplement, so you're not just like eliminating all of your savings.
Right.
I would not recommend somebody for 6 to 12 months sit at home and go, well, it's the strike and there's no money coming in. I'm just going to burn all of my life savings.
No.
I'd recommend maybe use the savings to like cover your rent.
The basics. Then we got it. We got it. We can't just, what are we sitting around for?
That makes him shake.
We should never be waiting. That's even in the industry, right? That's even on like this next audition. Like, why are you waiting? Yes, the opportunity is great. Yes, you've set yourself up. You've done the homework. You've done the training. You have the thick resume. Why are you waiting? Create opportunity for yourself. And then when it comes around, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But I think getting out of that whole like waiting until, no matter what circumstance you're in, is
Yeah.
incredibly dangerous. But can I just touch on something that you said? The risk that it's not even, it's kind of like a calculated risk, right? That you took,
Yeah.
but it honestly equaled the reward. And you set yourself up properly, right? But you also had the wiggle room to set yourself up properly, because I can't imagine what it must be like to have debt and try to like, let me try to pay this off, but let me try to set this up. It's like, it gets probably overwhelmed. It's one thing at a time. But I think that's really cool. And I think it's really smart. And like you said about those guys, if the money's just sitting, it's not doing anything. If you can put it somewhere and it's going to turn into something.
Yo, like, okay, if you're in a good enough position where you can save up 12 months of expenses, congratulations. You're in the group of people that should probably be investing aggressively.
Yep.
And if you're in the group of people who, when you listen to that SAG-AFTRA podcast and you heard 12 months and you're like, I can't, don't worry about it. You don't need that much.
Yeah.
You, like, especially if you have other things going on, if you have other debts or like you have medical things. Like Dave Ramsey, last thing I'll say on this, he's a big financial expert. He recommends people start out with just $1,000 in savings.
Mm.
He has this like baby step formula. He's like, just $1,000, not even a whole month of expenses. He's like, if you have debt and other things, he's like, save 1,000. Because again, that'll still take care of most, for the average person, average Joe, it'll take care of most immediate things that happen to you. Right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I need to get a tooth pulled. It'll take care of that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, get rid of your debt. And after that, now you're free and you can begin to build your wealth.
Absolutely. So baby steps. And you said his name was Dave Ramsey, in case people want to look him up. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like those practical steps, kind of like what you said. The 3 months to what they were saying on SAG-AFTRA, the year. So somewhere between that, however it speaks to you guys, whatever works for you in that realm. So thank you for sharing that personal story too.
Absolutely. Do you want to take us to the next segment of the episode?
We're going to play a game of Would You Rather. And I think it'd be kind of fun to invite people on next time, or just hear their how they would respond on this. Okay. So
yeah, you can, if you're listening on YouTube, you can drop your responses to this in the comment section. We'll check it out and maybe like shout you out on the next episode. And if you're listening on like Apple or Spotify or whatever, send us a DM, like hit us up on Insta.
Okay. This is kind of fun. These are kind of like, anyways, I'm just gonna throw it out there and you tell me how you feel. Would you rather hire a publicist for $5,000 a month to build visibility for like a project or whatever? Or would you spend that same amount on private coaching, therapy, and creative development?
Because I feel like on one hand, like the second option, private coaching, development, like the artist in me is like, yeah, like I just want to get better. The better I get, the better I get.
Sure.
On the business end, it's like, well, I guess the question is like, what do you believe is actually going to get you to the next job?
Right. And also, as I was doing this, I think it's kind of subjective. It's like, where are you at personally?
Right. Because if you're on the red carpet, then I think, let's say like I have like an indie movie that went to Sundance and we're trying to pick up some steam, The Publicist, by all means.
Mm-hmm.
If I just, booked a recurring guest star on Law and Order, I'm going with the private coaching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like that's going to market itself.
Okay.
Right. I'm on the biggest TV show ever.
Right.
I don't know if did I answer that well? I kind of gave two options, but that's how I'm thinking about it.
I know. And even as I was like, I can wiggle my way. I could find both. And I was like, no, you have to choose. So I want you to choose right now. And then I have another question for you.
Because of the ability for us in this current age to self-market ourselves and the tools we have available, social media, etc. I'm going to go with, I'm going to pay for the coach. I'm going to pay for the development therapy. I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to do what helps my instrument to perform its best. And I'm going to trust my existing team, agent, manager, and my ability to use my platform to market whatever I've got going on.
Okay. Ow, what's that on my shoulder? Devil's advocate. He has a question for you.
I was like, did you get stung by a bee?
No, this is my little devil's advocate. He has a question for you. So that Deadline article, you can get that on your own. The Entertainment Weekly.
I guess the question is, look, if it's
I know.
get on my own, I don't know. I mean, well, maybe.
Maybe.
A publicist can pick up. I'm not taking away from what publicists do, but I can also pick up the phone.
Okay.
You were talking earlier about like how like actors need to take initiative and you should never just be sitting around.
Yeah.
Like there are so many stories of actors getting themselves into places by nothing, but their own, their own initiative behind the thing. That's how I got. Quick story.
Love it.
I've had to get multiple different commercial representation over the years. Because when I came out of Showcase, I didn't get any bites. And then I got my first commercial agent and then they closed and I got my current ones. I got my first commercial agents because I called them.
Stop.
I'm dead serious, which sounded like kind of crazy because like who would do that?
How do I drop this mic?
But like I Googled their office. I called them. I talked to the secretary and I like talked my way into her transferring me to the head of the department. And I talked them into bringing me in for a meeting. And that's how I got at one of the biggest agencies in the industry.
I need you to say less.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm taking a 5K and I'm spending it on coaching and I'm just gonna try and make myself a better artist.
I love it. Can I just preface something? I love your determination. I love that you know yourself. I love that you shared that. I fear sometimes that actors, when they hear something like this, you know what I mean? So I think it's also gauging the temperature, but I love that. And yes, it does take determination. It does take your knowing thyself, but because I've done that too. I've there's a fine line.
I get what you're saying. Like, don't be an idiot though. Like, don't just be calling people. You don't have your stuff together. You don't have a reel. You don't have anything to offer. You don't know where your strengths are. You don't know how to pitch yourself.
Right.
Because you're gonna make us all look bad.
Yeah. And then they have to send out the mass email that's like, don't look down the lens.
Yeah. Well, so Andrea, what would you rather do? Which one would you rather pick?
Wait. Oh, well, I have to answer it back?
I just kind of want to know.
Oh. Man, I was so focused on you, I forgot. Let me see.
Well, because I'm thinking like $5,000, that could pay for like a whole year of like acting class.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm coming from. I'm like, man, that like the 5,000 can stretch way further. I could do so much for 5K.
Yeah.
Versus like that Publicist, that's gonna be for 1 month.
I know.
Which could be worth it. Again, like well, you already said it. Like where are you at?
Like if you're putting out that 5, are you good enough for like the for the rest of things? So oh gosh. Fine, Hassiem, fine. I think I'll have to agree with you. I think it makes more sense to implement as much as you can with that same amount of money elsewhere. And then I'll tell you what, because I've worked with a publicist before, you can find just as great under 5.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me an option and I was just like, that's it.
Right. And then thinking outside the box. So I have another. Do I have time to ask you that one?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Where's the other one? I have like 17 of them. Oh, this is one up here. Okay. Would you rather sign with a big agency that barely replies or stay with a smaller agent who actually hustles but gets fewer opportunities?
I need another clarified. The big agent that barely replies, are they sending me out frequently or is it also like little frequency and little communication?
Little frequency, little communication. Big name. And then small.
Probably big projects, but fewer and farther between.
Right. Also, you might be a small fish in a large pond. And then there's also this home.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. Give me the smaller agency.
Okay.
I think it's
Mama Pops.
The best agent is the one who is fiercely advocating for you.
At the end of the day.
Period.
At the end of the day, how is our relationship and how savage are you?
I have a friend who is signed with an agency I will not name.
It's big
boutique. No, small.
Oh, okay. So we're
boutique.
Yeah.
There's two people work there. And I had another friend who was also signed with the same agency and they were rep by them at the same time. One friend, she'd hear from them like every 6 months. Like it was bad. Like she was getting all of her own auditions. She booked a Lifetime movie on her own. She was hustling. And these reps, she was like, Hassiem, she's like, they're not sending me out. And I was like, who you rep with again? She told me, and I was like, because I got this other friend who's going in multiple times a week, going in for Broadway shows. And I know this because I'm like,
Same type?
I'm reading with her, different type.
Okay.
Different type. But it just goes to show, like, who is your fierce ad? Because it's another thing, like, it's one thing if, okay, depending on what the industry is asking for at this time, it may be harder to get one person some auditions than the other. But that don't have anything to do with how often you're communicating with me.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she's like, she's not hearing from them for months at a time. I got this other friend who's like all the time. So that's where I'm like, it's really just like, who's advocating for you?
Yeah.
And similarly, like I've seen like really big reps, like I've seen friends who've just like freaking killed it with these big reps. And I've seen friends who it's crickets with the big reps.
Yeah.
So give me the frequency, give me the communication, because we can make some shake. There's plenty of people, like even small boutique agencies, they all have people that are pretty high on their roster, who are doing well. And why can't that be you?
Yeah. I think it's nice that you mentioned that. Take away the title and focus more on the details of like the frequency and the good communication and the follow through instead of just how it looks. Let's get rid of how it looks, guys. We got moves to make.
And it's hard to turn down if you get that offer from, a UTA.
Oh my gosh,
it's like
the biggest boner ever. Can I say that? I just said it.
You've said it, so we can say it. The Gershes of the world. I mean, obviously, I ain't gonna lie. If CAA called me tomorrow, I'm not gonna be like,
oh. Look, like, mom and pops, good communication. CAA, how dare you reach out to me?
Right. Like, well, how often are you going to be communicating with me, CAA? Like, will I be able to reach you on the weekends?
Right.
Like,
hey, yeah.
And that's a whole other conversation. But I just don't want to ignore, like, I'm gonna be real. If some really big agency, like say you have a big spot in a film or a TV show and get a lot of attention in big agency calls, like take the meeting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
but
for sure.
You got to assess.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's good to assess. And also I think that there's a level of leaving your ego aside once you realize, like, let's just say that you are with someone bigger and it's you're not really hearing anything. There's not a lot of traction, the communication that you're hoping for. It's like, man, how long are you going to sit? Like, how long are you going to let your ego be like, well, I'm, if this looks good, it's a good look, but it's like, how happy are you though? So
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, cool. I like that. I like that response.
Let's talk about budgets. You said it earlier. You're like, oh, Hassiem, that's a budgeter in you. I'm a big budgeter. I credit my budget with my financial success. Like if there's one thing that I could say has led to this place I'm in now, it is this budget. I use the same spreadsheet that I've used since my senior year of college.
What? Love, you're going to like share it with us somewhere, right?
Same. Yeah, I can do that. I'll figure out how to do that. But yeah, I'm happy to share. I'm happy to share it. It's not like I didn't create it. It was I took a finance class in college.
Right.
May the professor rest in peace. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh.
And he was like one of those super practical guys. He was like, okay, here's a spreadsheet. Let me hear from you. Like, what's your perspective on budgeting? How important is it to you? How closely do you track?
I was enjoying listening to you, and I was like, I gotta get this spreadsheet. Because I don't have a spreadsheet. I have a lot of friends that even like tracking auditions. I don't like use a spreadsheet to track them. But I was listening to you, so when I'm done, I want to hear what you have to say and get back to that. So really quickly, without going too far into it, growing up, so my parents were always, we were always very tight with money. My parents were immigrants. They came to America to give us the dream. They put me and my siblings through private school. So just because they could doesn't mean that they had the means to do it. They did what they had to do for us to get there. So I was raised in the mindset of like working hard, saving your money. So I've always been a huge fan of budgeting. I don't feel comfortable if like I'm throwing all my money away, Yeah. I will save up and I will splurge once in a while, but I won't go crazy. I make sure that I take care of everything that I have to take care of, I have the 3 months set aside. So I have the basic necessities taken care of, and I also leave myself like a little reserve for like any sort of like, if I want to take a class or get new headshots or go see a show, I have a budget for that as well. Um, but I feel like your budget's better than my budget, so I want to hear what you have to say.
So my thing is like, there is probably a point one could reach where you don't need a budget.
Mm.
And I actually feel like I'm more in that place now. I still use my budget. I still track literally every dollar in and every dollar out.
Wow. So you're very
Like, I'm so serious. Like, if I spend $2 on something, I track it. So
Tell us why.
yeah,
Tell us why even the little amount, why it matters.
it adds up quick. Obviously, the big things: rent, transportation, and food. Those are the three big expenses the average person has.
Sure.
And those usually don't fluctuate too much. But then all the other little stuff. So this is what the budget did for me. When I first created this budget, senior year of school, started tracking stuff, it kind of it opened my eyes, because when I'm looking at this spreadsheet tracking all my expenses, and I was like, oh, that's where the money's going. And then all of a sudden you can start making conscious decisions about your money. It just gave me this overwhelming sense of control.
Yeah,
And
you're enlightened. Yeah.
yeah, and I grew up in a family who did not have money.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
did not have
Same.
money.
Yeah.
Like, there were periods of time where I know for a fact my parents' bank accounts were in the negative,
Mhm.
when we were kids. So and we have big family. I have 6 siblings. So even the money we had, it was always stretched thin.
Little house on a prairie.
Yeah.
Ow.
So my budget, it's kind of like, I tell people it's like weight loss, right? It's like calories in versus calories out. 99% of people,
Mhm.
if you want to gain weight, you need to pull in more calories than you're putting out. If you want to lose weight, you need to expend more calories than you're bringing in. And what the budget showed me, when the numbers were on the page, it showed me calories in versus calories out. It was like, if I want to have more money, if I want to be able to put towards a savings, save for a vacation, splurge on this, then I need more coming in than out. And the spreadsheet has this function built in where if you have more going out than in, it turns your balance red. So
Oh.
as you're tracking, you can see, like, if it's the 3rd week of the month and that thing turns red, you can be like, oh, I got to reel it in. Yep, I got to reel it in.
Oof. I like that. I like a little nice little warning, because what if I go too far? Oh, you're gonna check
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then it also indicates to you if you need to pick up the hustle a little bit.
Ooh.
So
I love
basically,
this.
and like, let's say, because, a lot of freelancers have a bajillion different side jobs. Again, another topic for another day. But let's say you're like, you're catering. Yeah.
Mhm.
And halfway through the month, that number at the end turns red. Well, now, I need to reach out to my manager and be like, yo, can I get an extra shift? Like, it just allows you to like make conscious decisions instead of feeling like money is just a thing that's like happening to you.
Mhm.
Right? It's like your financial situation is not happening to you. It's like you are orchestrating it. And so for me, like, I have at the top, I have my various income streams, and I just put in the total for each month. I do mine on a monthly basis. Some people do it weekly. I like monthly personally. And then I have the expenses down below.
Mhm.
It also has a function where I can like put in transfers. So if I'm like, oh, transfer X amount of dollars to my savings account, it'll like do that automatically, and it'll show me how much so I don't really look at my bank account much at all.
You don't have to. The way that you
I
just
don't
broke this all down for us, you
I don't really look
basically
at my bank account.
you made yourself very aware of your circumstances, and you've done your due diligence, and you know what you're doing. So that's a beautiful thing. And like you said at the beginning of this, you gave yourself the control. You gave yourself the power. You gave yourself the autonomy to get things done. So that's
Yeah.
amazing. Listening also, I need to see this spreadsheet. And I think people would become empowered with it. It might feel overwhelming, especially if you've never done this before. But like anything in the world, right? Once you try a little bit and you have a little bit of an understanding of it, you get to get really good at it. So I would love it if you actually found a way to share this. If you can find the spreadsheet, or if you can like tell us
I
the
could probably do like a well, this is what I can do. I'll make a copy of it and we can throw it in the show notes.
Yeah,
That's something
that would
to
be really
do.
cool. I would love that personally, so I can check it out, and because I don't have a technical way that I budget. Like, I have a way in my mind that's like the red danger that you said, that's just me like, "Oh, no," you know?
You just feel it coming. You're like,
Yeah,
I've spent a lot lately.
right, it's anxiety. So, I need something that's outside of me to, like, also gently let me know when I'm taking it too far or when I'm doing well, so
And yo, those I have friends who like there's different apps and stuff. Like
mhm.
if
There are several apps that you can use as well.
so please let us know in the comments or again, feel free to reach out, DM us. Let us know what you use for budgeting. If there's a cool app you use, like let us know. We'd love to like start collecting some resources for folks. That'd
For
be really cool.
sure. Let's be there for one another. I'm all about that. I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I'll say about the bank account is a bank account, looking at your bank account can be a trap because when you look at it, there's this thing that happens where you look at the number there and your brain goes, oh, that's how much money I have to spend.
Mm.
And that's the paycheck to paycheck trap.
Mm.
When you look at that thing and there's $5,000, you go, I have $5,000 to spend. You look at it as like this is disposable. And so most people, we know this, most people spend it. Most Americans could not come up with $400 in the instance of an emergency.
Mm.
Right? That's data. That's just facts, not my opinion. Right? And I think partially, there's a lot of factors. Partially, it's because we look at the bank account and you think, I can spend all of that. And then you do. And then all it takes is one thing.
Yeah. You gotta counter in life
Yeah.
because life
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
All right. Shall we move on to our final segment?
Okay. Financial confession. So the car I have right now is a very economical car that I absolutely love. I drive a Kia, very happy with it, very low maintenance, oil changes, whatever. It's done right by me. Two cars that I had before this was a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Loved it. I didn't even know anything about Jeeps. I just saw it. I was like, I have to have that. And so at the time, I think I had my parents co-sign with me, and the interest rate was insane. The monthly payments were insane. I was in college at the time. I was working 2 jobs during college. So that is something I would not financially recommend. Just because it was something that I wanted because I had to work my ass off after it. Cause it's like you signed this, you signed this contract, you gotta go in. So it took me a minute to pay off that Jeep, but I did eventually. But where I sit right now, I would never do that again because that was just kind of foolish.
And they're expensive. And they are kind of notoriously just like cars that require a lot of maintenance.
It's not a sedan, it's a Jeep. So the tires are bigger. The axle is big, like everything's bigger. So bigger, more money, just did not think about it. I just wanted it. What about you? Do you have a crazy, crazy financial?
Not crazy, crazy. Last year, I'm trying to make this quick. I had an electric bike. It was very nice and expensive, but it got me around the city so fast.
Yeah.
And it got stolen a year ago. They got the dude on camera and everything, but there's nothing they can do about it because it's New York City and there's 8 million people. And how are you finding this one guy who stole a bike?
Right.
Fast forward about 6 months, I was like, okay, I actually don't want another electric bike because that bike got on my last damn nerve. And I was kind of okay that somebody stole it.
Oh.
It's 60 pounds. So incredibly heavy. I live on the 3rd floor, no elevator. So like I used to have to carry it up and down. And then I was like, I ain't doing that. So then I got a parking space at a garage. I was paying $20 a month to park my bike. That was fine, except the garage is like a 12-minute walk away. So I'd have to I would longboard to my bike to then take my bike to go commute. So I was like, unless it's a lightweight, like commuter bike that I could easily just like bring up to my apartment, I'm not getting another bike. What if I got an electric longboard?
Okay.
Because they're fast and it's compact. I can carry it up to my apartment, no problem. I can store it in my apartment. I just put it in a corner in my apartment, no problem. It's like the same size as a longboard. It's just heavier. It is really heavy. It's 40 pounds. But here's the problem. There are some reviews on this board, and great reviews, but people were like, oh, it's not really a good like commuter. Like it's not good to commute with. And I was like, that's interesting. I was like, nah, I'm gonna use it to commute. You know what I'm saying? So I think I spent like $2,400 on this longboard this May. So $2,400.
And this is less expensive than the electric bike.
It's more expensive than.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's more expensive than electric bike. It's more expensive than a lot of electric longboards. I got a nice one.
Okay.
I got like the Audi of electric longboards.
Yes, you did. Okay. Leather interior.
Audi. I'll say Lexus. Maybe not Audi, but Lexus.
Okay. Audi's so nice. Yeah.
Audi's nice too. Anyways, so I got this board. It is very nice. It was a lot bigger than I was expecting. It's super heavy. And, well, I'll be damned. Commuting is a bit rough. Because what I didn't realize, because I never owned an electric longboard, I've been skating for years. This board, when you're skating on it, you're like fighting inertia. Like it's physically exhausting to
Right. Yeah, I'd have to imagine that it's because you don't have this free will, like because it's doing its thing. You have to.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not moving it, it's moving you.
You're fighting for your life.
The whole time. And the faster you go, the more you're fighting.
Oh, God.
So
no, and then all the extra variables in New York, and
I fell off this longboard. Oh, sorry. The first time I fell off wasn't my fault. Like somebody cut me off. A car cut me off. I had to just bail because I was like, I'm not getting hit by a car.
Right.
The second time I fell off, I was going really fast, and I think I hit like a hole in the ground, and just
okay.
So that was a long way of saying I spent over $2,000 on this longboard that like I only use it to commute if I'm close to home, or I use it to commute to the train, which I didn't have to pay for. My budgeter in me, now I will say I had the money. It was disposable income.
Sure.
Like it was, I have another account of just like fun money.
Sure. Because when you were saying this, I was like, Hassiem, this must be in his calculated lift pile.
It was. So it was a calculated decision, but in hindsight, waste of money.
But here's the thing though, there was only one way for you to actually find out. And this situation also informed you of like, okay, in the future.
I'm just gonna be honest. It was, I got to take that L. I'm $2,400 poorer because of it. And in the future, nothing electric, nothing with a motor. Keep it simple. It's like the Jeep versus the Kia. It's like, if something happens to this board, like the repairs versus like a regular longboard.
Yeah.
It's not a good choice.
Yeah. And it's okay. And we're not here to shame. So I appreciate you sharing that because we are humans and we're existing and we're learning and we're growing. And hopefully people listening to this podcast are also going to hear things that resonate with them and learn and grow. So we're so in this together. I'm just glad that you're okay because that sounds crazy. I can imagine a thing that's like ruling me in New York where there's just so much happening.
It's dangerous. The risk reward is, and I'm good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good at it. So like, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I would not recommend it to somebody. Like it's a fun thing if you're just like, I want a fun toy for the weekend.
Sure.
But I bought it thinking I wanted to replace my daily commute and I wouldn't be paying for the trains, and it's not that.
So we have to know, what are you doing now? Are you just using your old school legs?
Old school legs. I do have a car, so depending on where I'm going, I'll drive. Like I don't drive downtown because of congestion pricing and parking and stuff. But like,
of course.
If I'm like uptown, or if I have to go to some of the other boroughs because I live in Manhattan, I'll drive because it's way faster and easier to like drive to Brooklyn than take a train to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I'm on the train. Or like some days I will skate. Like I'll skate all the way down, but it's not as frequent. And it's about to get cold outside, so. Yeah, not a great choice.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice.
But alas, we live and learn, folks.
We do, and that's okay.
Yeah. And speaking of which, I think we're going to sign off here. So we hope that you learned something today. Again, please like shoot us some feedback. Let us know what your thoughts are. How'd you like the length of the episode? How'd you like the segments? Make sure to respond to the Would You Rather, and maybe comment a spreadsheet if you would like to see the spreadsheet, the infamous spreadsheet I've used to to master my finances. Anything else from you, Andrea, before we?
No, thank you for sharing all your personal stories. It's always inspiring and super cool to hear from other people. And it also makes you realize you're not alone, and it's you're not too young, you're not too old. We're still figuring this thing called life out, even as artists, as not an artist. So thank you for sharing your personal story. And I will say that I would love to see that spreadsheet. So I'd love to see other people comment and see if they want to see it as well, or if there's a topic that they want us to cover. But also, please like and subscribe to the channel. Your bank account will definitely thank you, and we're always going to make it so fun.
There it is, guys. If you enjoyed this episode of Finance for Freelance, you'll love a recent episode I did months ago on our YouTube channel on how to retire without a 401k. So be sure to check that out. Major thanks to our distributors over at Next Chapter Podcast. Major thank you to Andrea for joining me. She'll be back. We'll be co-hosting this together.
And I'll be back in the States by then, I think. I'll miss Amsterdam, but I'll be,
Sick. All right, guys, that's it from us. We'll be back with another episode of Finance for Freelance next month, unless all of you are like, oh my God, we need another one sooner. Maybe we'll do it sooner.
Yes.
All right. Till next time, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.